one more question that I had a couple times was, what age should I start lifting at? And if I am too young to start lifting, what are some things that I can do instead of that until I am of that age?
All right.
I'm of the opinion you can start, you know, even as young as like 10 or anything like that. I'm not saying they're going to do anything crazy, and I would definitely avoid like a heavy spinal load, with like
Yeah,
a barbell or
we're not
something.
talking about like powerlifting, but like
Yeah, I mean, you
small
can
weights
you
and
can
all.
put a dumbbell in a kid's hand. Like,
Yeah.
I don't think there's anything wrong with that, and have them hold it in front of them and do a squat. Like, as long as they're doing it with good technique, it's totally fine. But I would first and foremost emphasize jumping and landing and sprinting, and just like basic movements. Bear crawling, down dog, anything like that.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Agreed. Yeah, for me, it's where that child up to, let's say, I mean, this is going throughout, but a kid who's 8, 9, 10, 7, whatever, we're working on body weight, right? We're working, just like you said, we can work on the sprint mechanics, sprint technique, acceleration, deceleration, jumping, uh, knowing how to land with the jumping. Those things are very important, right? So I want them to just like understand how to just move their body with their body
Yeah.
weight, right? And then if we're getting to about 12, 13, all right, we're getting some weights in you, you're doing these complex type of lifting, right? And the reason why I say that is just at times it's more of they are more disciplined at that time. So that's really why I'm saying that they're able to actually listen and, take it in and then apply what I'm saying. So that's where I'm like, all right, I'll throw in that type of complex training, age of 12, 13. But before then, they definitely, kids and athletes should definitely, if you're 7, 8 years old, you can definitely do work where it's body weight work and sprint agility work, working on stuff like that.
Yeah. I think the attentiveness is really important, and it gets tricky because every kid like comes into that desire to pay attention to detail at a different age.
Yeah.
Like, I was a little bit later. I was kind of just a bit of a goofy kid that just wanted to run around fast. And I guess I like stabbing people. But so I think that's like a bit of a task for us as trainers when we work with kids, is you have to like teach them things in a way that's like fun for them, which is like it's different from working with an 18-year-old to working with them. So you really have to kind of play with that, but just like teach them to use their bodies and like roll and do things. Like I think that's what's important for the kids.
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah.
Awesome. So that's all the questions that I have for you guys today. Is there anything else either of you guys want to say before we part ways today?
I don't think so.
The only thing one, as I said before, I really do believe that I really actually believe all fencing athletes should get into a strength conditioning training program. I really believe that for now, like it's definitely very essential and very important. And not only in terms of just getting stronger, which is obviously very important, but a big part of it is reducing your risk of injury, right? And just making yourself a better athlete.
Yep.
Stronger, more powerful out there. You're just you're gonna be a better athlete, right?
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
So why not? Why not invest that into yourself? If your goal is, hey, I want to, make the national team. I want to make the Olympic team. I want to make, I want to, be on the NCAA's. Like whatever your goal is, you can be a part of it just naturally as an athlete. It's just always be a part of your regimen and a part of your program. And one thing I would say, and I'm throwing in there, is that for Verb Fitness, I'm having for and I'll give you the link for the fencer starting in June. We're going to do, and when I say we, with 3 other coaches, sprint coaches, we're going to do a program specifically with fencers in teaching sprint mechanics during this pandemic. So sprint mechanics and also the strength part of it. So we're going to combine that. So we want to have a program that is will be going weekly, and it's it's a Zoom workout. But that's what we're focusing on. We're focused on sprint mechanics, sprint conditioning, and also on strength training for our athletes.
Nice. That sounds awesome.
Yeah, we're not able to get into the gym right now. We have something out there that if you, just like we were talking about, where you may not know exactly what to do. And so here we have a structured program and a progressive structured program for fencing athletes to do. So you jump on board and get yourself ready and prepared for when the season starts.
Yeah, sounds great. I did think of one thing. I think there's a couple questions about like, how do I make my own program? And I would just kind of like we talked about, like, don't just lift weights. You should have some like a little bit of mobility work, some bear crawling, some like yoga type moves and stuff like that. Lunging, like body weight lunging. You should have some power component, and then your strength component should have like what we call in the strength world like a hip dominant movement. So you're going to be working like hamstrings and stuff and glutes, and what we call a knee dominant movement. So that would be like squats and lunges. And then your upper body, you want to both push like a push up or an overhead press and pull like a row or a pull up.
Yeah.
And then your core work should really be focusing on making sure that you're not like extending at your lower back and managing rotation, because your lower back, you don't want it to rotate so much. Like Ahmed mentioned earlier, thoracic rotation. So your upper back should rotate, your lower back shouldn't. So like that would be, a simple one would be a side plank, would help work on anti-rotation. But there's a bunch of other options. And then similarly, I'm also taking clients all the time. And so, if you're interested, reach out, or if you just want to chat and like, try and create your own workout, I'm happy to talk to anybody.
Yeah, we will. Yes, we will definitely give links with that. Yes, absolutely, Kelleigh, you're absolutely right. And again, like I said in the beginning, change the tempo.
Yes. Yes, exactly. Great point. Yeah.
And that's how you can make it a bit more challenging for yourself. And also you get to see your progression with that. Like she said, write it down, see how you're progressing every week. You understand? So you can, you have your own, that's your program right there. You're seeing, okay, what's working, what's not working.
That makes it way more fun, like honestly.
Awesome. Well, thank you guys so much for spending some time to talk to everybody about this. So,
my pleasure. It was really fun.
Your expertise are appreciated. And again, anyone who needs help designing themselves a program or wants to know something more specific about any of the topics that we talked about, definitely reach out to one of these two. They're great people and they both know what they're doing. So talk to them. Their links are in the video description. So, guys, thank you so much.
Thanks a lot, Andrew. Kelleigh.
Thanks, Andrew. It's good to chat, Ahmed. Yes. Hope to see you guys soon in person.
Yeah,
I know.
Totally.
Right? Have a good one.
You too.
All right. Bye, guys.